everyone, welcome to back my channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before starting the video, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. The hum of fluorescent lights filled the corridor at Weatherfield General, broken only by the soft shuffle of nurses and the occasional chime of the intercom. Kevin Webster sat alone in the plastic waiting chair, his hands clenched tightly in his lap. It had been days since his surgery, weeks since that fateful moment when Tim had convinced him to get the lump on his neck checked. He didn't want to be here. Not really. He was a man of action, of oil-stained fingers and hard work. Sitting still, waiting for results, especially these results, was agony. The door to the consultant's office creaked open. "Mr. Webster," came the calm voice of Dr. Fielding, her expression unreadable. Kevin stood slowly, nodding. Right. Inside, the room was too clean, too bright. A folder sat ominously on the desk. Abby wasn't here, couldn't be. The hospital triggered too much for her. Memories of loss and trauma she still carried silently. She'd offered to come, but Kevin had insisted she stay home. Now, facing this moment alone, he wasn't sure that had been the right decision. Dr. Fielding sat across from him and gave a small, measured smile. "Thanks for coming in. I know this part isn't easy." Kevin nodded, his throat dry. "Let's have it then." She opened the folder. First, the good news. The surgery went well. We were able to remove the tumor entirely. The area around it showed clean margins, which is what we want. Kevin blinked. Relief surged until she continued. "However," she said gently, "we also tested nearby lymph nodes. Unfortunately, we found evidence that the cancer has started to spread." His heart dropped. "We're recommending chemotherapy, sooner rather than later." Kevin stared at her, unable to speak. The word cancer echoed again in his mind, louder than before. He had known it was a possibility, but knowing and hearing it out loud were two very different things. "Chemo?" he said at last, his voice low. "Yes. A fairly aggressive course, but your overall health is strong. That works in your favor." Kevin scoffed softly, more to himself. Strong. He didn't feel strong. Back home on Coronation Street, Kevin sat quietly in the living room as Abby made tea. The cups clinked as she set them on the table, her eyes narrowing. "What did they say?" she asked. Kevin hesitated. "It's spread," he said finally. "They want to start chemo next week." Abby froze, her face unreadable for a moment. Then she sat beside him, her hand reaching for his. "I knew it," she whispered. I hoped." He squeezed her hand back. "I didn't want to scare you. I know what hospitals do to you." "I'm not scared of hospitals," she said sharply. Then softer, "I'm scared of losing you." Kevin looked at her, his heart breaking at the rawness in her voice. This wasn't just his battle, it was theirs. The spoiler video, released ahead of next week's Coronation Street episodes, gives viewers a first glimpse at the emotional fallout of Kevin's diagnosis. In the clip, Kevin sits in the garage with Tyrone, quietly closing the bonnet of a car. He's not his usual self, slower, distracted. "You all right, Kev?" Tyrone asks, wiping grease from his hands. Kevin sighs. "No, not really, got cancer, Ty." Tyrone freezes. "What?" Kevin nods, forcing a smile. "Had surgery. But it's spread. Chemo starts Monday." The silence between them is long and thick. Tyrone stares at him, struggling for words. I'm sorry, mate. I don't even know what to say." "You don't have to say anything," Kevin says. "Just don't treat me like I'm already halfway in the ground." Tyrone's eyes well slightly. "You're not. You're gonna beat this. You've got Abby, Jack, me, everyone." The video cuts to a quiet moment later in the week, showing Kevin and Jack sitting on the couch. Jack has a blanket draped over his shoulders. "Are you gonna be okay, Dad?" Jack asks softly. Kevin hesitates, then he nods. "I'm gonna do everything I can. That's a promise." Back on the street, news begins to spread. Debbie visits him with soup and a hug that lingers too long. Sally drops off magazines and a worried glance. Tim offers to drive him to appointments. Kevin takes it all in stride, but the weight presses on him. But the biggest struggle comes from within his own home. Abby is slipping again. Some nights, she cries in the kitchen. Others, she disappears on long walks. Kevin finds her one evening outside the garage, chain-smoking and shivering. "You should be resting," she says when he finds her. "I should be with you," he replies. "You're scared, I get it. So am I." "I can't go back there," she says, tears welling. "The hospital, the sounds. I keep seeing Alfie." Kevin pulls her close. "Then we'll do it here, at home, together." She leans into him, broken but trying. As the week unfolds, Kevin begins chemo. A montage in Friday's episode shows him sitting in the treatment chair, headphones in, Abby beside him for a brief moment, before walking out. He watches her leave but doesn't stop her. She's trying. And that has to be enough. Later, in a quiet moment at the Rovers, Kevin tells Steve and Peter, "This cancer's not just in my body, it's everywhere. In how I think, how I feel. Every part of my life's been turned upside down." But as the pint glasses clink and conversation turns back to football, there's a small smile on his face. Because life is still here, and he's still in it. Coming up on Coronation Street. Kevin's diagnosis marks the start of a powerful new storyline that explores illness, trauma, and the strength of community. As his treatment progresses, expect emotional fallout for Abby, Jack's growing maturity, and surprising support from old rivals and new friends. The soap will sensitively depict cancer recovery and trauma in a raw, grounded way. Actor Michael Leavell's performance is said to be one of his best in years, according to insiders. Will Kevin pull through? Can Abby stay strong by his side? And how will this news ripple through the rest of Weatherfield? One thing's certain, the road ahead won't be easy. But in true Corey fashion, it will be honest, heartbreaking, and full of hope. Thanks for watching this video, and please subscribe our channel Street Gossip for more update news.